A big warm welcome back to the channel. Today I thought it was overdue a little driver video. I've done a few videos with the driver, but today I wanted to give you the key points that if you want to be a good driver of the golf ball, where you need to be spending the lion's share of your time focused on when you're hitting drivers. Now, a lot of you will have been down the range, you'll have had a lesson, or not, just tuned into my channel, and you'll have spent some time hitting your 7-irons, your 5-irons, and you've gone into your hybrids and your 3-woods. And then you might leave 10 or 15 balls to the end with the driver. I would really dissuade you from getting involved in a practice session like that and leaving your driver at the end. You're going to be knackered. You might not have had the best practice session. Don't leave the beast to the end. Set aside a range session a week, depending on how many you do, maybe a range session a month, where you just specifically focus on your driver. And what would that look like? That would look like 10 or 15 shots with an iron of some regard, literally to warm you up with. Don't spend any time changing the golf swing, because when you get to the driver, what you want to be focusing on are 4 key areas, and I've got them up on the screen. Your angle of attack. Now this would be the least, yes, the least focused of the 4 ingredients up on the screen. Angle of attack, whether you are a golfer that hits excessively up on it, or a golfer that hits excessively down on it, it won't make too much difference to the dispersion on the golf ball. In the same way, your strike point will. Understand that angle of attack is the least important of the 4 ingredients that I've got up on the screen, which are attack angle, face to path, impact offset, heel and toe, and impact height, top and bottom. Out of those 4 ingredients, the angle of attack is the least important when it comes to dispersion. If you're looking for efficiency, attack angle is quite important. You can see out of those 2 shots, the second one kind of carried too far. And the reason why I don't have distance up when I'm doing these videos is because it's so irrelevant, because my carry numbers are for me, my club head speed. Your club head speed might be completely different. So there's no point in you seeing, other than your interest in how far I hit it, which is about 270 through the air, 265 through the air. Other than that, it really has no importance. So from an efficiency perspective of getting the maximum out of the distance, the angle of attack will have some importance, but it won't have any importance in relation in the hierarchy compared to the impact offset, height and heel and toe, and the face to path. I get too many people on the mat hitting a shot, and they'll hit down 1 or 2 degrees. They'll hit down 1 or 2 degrees, and they'll say, "Oh, angle of attack is a bit bad, isn't it?" Well, at 1.5 degrees down, that, my friend, is the last thing you need to be worrying about. What the problem is on that last shot is the fact that my face to path value was open at 6.4. Now, if you did improve your angle of attack and made yourself hit more up on it, you would have an opportunity to create a less open face to path. But I've just hit up on it 4 degrees compared to where I hit down at 1.6, my face to path is still open at 5.6. So yes, it will have an impact on whether the face, when you hit more up, tends to close it, or whether you hit more down, the face tends to be more open. It won't be the deciding factor on whether you hit a good shot or bad shot, whether you're going to hit it right or left. Your face to path value will always be the ingredient that keeps the ball within play. So if you're hitting a consistent face to path value that is open, whether you're hitting down on it or up on it, if you're consistently creating an open face to path, giving yourself the opportunity to then keep on hitting and aiming down the left and cutting it back, whether you hit down or whether you hit up, and you can see the last 2 shots, I hit down, I hit up, the face to path was open on both counts, but the ball did the same thing. What changed was the launch angle. What changed would have been the spin rate. So understand that really the angle of attack is only going to give you some efficiency ratings, if you like. It's not going to make you necessarily hit it any straighter. So don't get too caught up in the angle of attack. Your face to path is the biggie. Face to path will ultimately dictate the shape you'll tend to see in the sky. Where the face is pointing relative to the path. Now I know that golf shot that I just hit would have had a path line of around 10 degrees to the left, and my face was pointing somewhere in the region of 3 to 4 degrees to the left of the target, but was pointing 6.5 degrees, 6.4 degrees to the right of my path, which is why the ball had some curvature to the right. The face to path value is only giving us a reference point of where the face is in relation to the path line. But it's got nothing to do with where it's pointing at the target. So on this shot here, because I knew I was going to deliver an open face to path, I was able to line myself up to the left. The problem comes if when you're trying to correct your fade, you aim up the left and then all of a sudden you make your face to path value more negative. You then end up with a shot that starts left and draws. And so the fact that that ball drew to the left when I was trying to keep reproducing my face to path value that's open is where the error came from. If you're trying to remedy an open face to path, you're really going to leave yourself open to hitting pull draws. So if you're looking to fix your face to path value, whether it be open face to path, which means you're a fader of the golf ball, or a closed face to path golfer, the ball bends to the right, what you need to immediately do is aim where you usually see the ball finish. So if you're someone that has too much bend to the left, the place that, i.e. overdraw or hook, the place that you need to aim is down the left, and then have a way of trying to produce a face that's coming back more open to your path, which will allow you to now feel comfortable about aiming left and bending it back. If you are someone that hits the ball with too much bend to the right, you need to make sure that when you're standing on the range, you're not just dragging your foot back, you are actually physically pointing your chest, your hips, your foot line all the way to the right of the target. And what you need to feel is that you're trying everything in your might to swing the club outside into your body line, get the club finishing as low as possible in an effort to feel like you can make that golf ball bend back to the left of your target. Quite tasty, that one. So when you're trying to fix the slice, don't just drag your foot back. Don't just aim to the right. You've got to make the club feel like it's going to come to the left of you, because this club coming around to the left of you is going to give the club a chance to pivot the head around and square the face back up, rather than aiming to the right, trying to hit from the inside, which only exacerbates the problem, leaves the face open and might even hit Lewis in the next bay. So get yourself aimed to the right, put the ball further forwards in your stance, and really try to feel how low and flat your follow through could be, which will make the ball bend back to the target. So interestingly, look at the face to path value there. The face to path value was 0.2 degrees open. I had 0.2 of a degree open club face to the path. But look, my ball had a significant bend to the left. Any idea why? It was because I hit it 29 millimeters out of the toe of the golf club, my friends. That ball bent to the right because I hit the golf ball out of the toe. So the very bottom of the pile, when it comes to direction, is your angle of attack. The second up from the bottom of the pile is your face to path value that will guarantee a bend in the sky. But the absolute primo of primos that will dictate where your ball goes with this trusty fellow known as the driver is the impact location on your club face. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but I don't think you will have had it demonstrated quite as well as you have here today. Give us a like and a share and a subscribe. So the impact offset of being 30 or 3 centimeters, 30 millimeters out to the toe end was the reason why the ball bent to the left. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit some drives, 3 drives, straight at my target. And what we're going to do is see the face to path and the impact offset. The impact offset, whether it was towards the toe or the heel, and the ball flight that we saw in the sky. So let's go with the first one. Aimed up nice and straight. Come on, Stuart, show me the money. So that was the first one. I had a face angle that was 2 degrees open to my path. That should have created a little fade down to the right. But because I hit it 2 centimeters, 22 millimeters out of the toe end of the golf club, did I see the ball draw to the left. My bias is always I want to hit the toe. Because whether I make a good swing or bad swing, I'm going to see the ball bend left, and I always like seeing it bend left, not bend right. Next swing, going to try and do the same thing, but try and get a little bit closer to the middle of the club face. So, I hit the golf ball 10 millimeters out of the toe. And because I had a very neutral face to path, very close to the center of the golf club, I actually saw the effective flight that the face angle should have created. And so every golf club has its own bias. Sometimes you see a golf club react more out the toe. Sometimes you see a golf club react more out the heel. But on that shot there, by only hitting it 1 centimeter out the toe of the golf club, it was within the sweet spot of the club, which is why we actually saw the fade represented. So you can see out of those 2 shots, the 12 millimeters of the shot before was the reason why I saw the draw. They're almost identical swings. Let's go one more. Let's see what we can produce. Oh, that was a bad swing, that one. That one was open face out the toe. Now that should have created far more bend, but when you make a bad swing with an open face to path and you catch her out the toe, she's still going to find the fairway. So in summary, don't worry about your angle of attack, folks. It's an absolute waste of time unless you are significantly down or significantly up. Don't even worry about your face to path unless it is more than 3 degrees open or closed to your path. If it's more than 3, go seek some help. But the biggest one that you want to be focusing on, my friends, is your impact offset. Is it toe or is it heel? If you've got a double up, if you've got an open face and you hit it out the heel, get your golf club, break it over your knee and go get yourself a cup of coffee. Or if you're Gary, go and get yourself a Miller Lite. You need to make sure that if you're a heel striker that you have a closed face to path, because they'll balance each other out and you'll hit of a very neutral ball flight. If you're someone that hooks it, heel strikes for you. If you're someone that slices it, toe strike for you. If you manage your strike, you'll have a bigger impact on finding more fairways and ultimately walking off the course with a big smile on your face. I think you'll find that's good coaching. See you next time.